If you're playing Blox Fruits right now, there are probably a few things slowing your progress without you even realizing it. Most players think they're grinding efficiently, but in reality they're wasting time on choices that make leveling way harder than it needs to be. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 simple but powerful tips I would recommend to anyone starting Blox Fruits or trying to level faster. These aren't glitches or advanced tricks. They're basic mistakes almost every player makes at some point, and fixing them can seriously speed up your progression. Let's start with the first tip. The first tip I would recommend is using a good grinding fruit. A lot of new players make the mistake of eating a fruit just because it's mythical or rare. They think rarity equals power, so they instantly use it even if it's terrible for leveling. But in reality, some of the best grinding fruits in the game are not the rarest ones. When you're leveling, your main goal is clearing NPCs fast and completing quests efficiently. That means you need a fruit with strong area damage, good range, and easy-to-hit abilities. If your fruit is flashy but slow or hard to use, your leveling speed drops a lot. I've seen players switch from a great grinding fruit to a rare PvP fruit and suddenly take twice as long to level. So instead of focusing on rarity, focus on performance. If it helps you clear mobs faster, it's the right choice. The second tip I would recommend is not wasting your stat points. One of the biggest beginner mistakes is spreading stats everywhere. A little into melee, a little into sword, a little into gun, and a little into fruit. It feels balanced, but it actually makes you weaker. Blox Fruits rewards focused builds. If your damage is split across multiple stats, none of them become strong enough to grind efficiently. That means longer fights, slower quests, and slower leveling overall. Instead, pick one main damage source and commit to it. If you're a fruit user, invest heavily into fruit. If you're a sword user, focus on sword damage. A focused build always outperforms a mixed one when it comes to progression speed. The third tip I would recommend is not hoarding money unless it actually helps your progression. A lot of players here save your belly and take it too far. They end up sitting on millions of money but refuse to spend it on anything useful. But money only matters if it improves your account. If a fighting style, upgrade, or item will make grinding easier, then it's worth buying. What you want to avoid is wasting money on random things that don't help your build. At the same time, you don't want to hoard it for no reason either. The best approach is balance. Spend when it helps your progression, save when it doesn't. The fourth tip I would recommend is not wasting fragments. Fragments become one of the most important currencies later in the game, especially for awakenings, races, and major upgrades. New players often spend fragments immediately because they feel easy to get at first. But later on, they realize those fragments are needed for much more important things. If you spend them randomly early, you'll end up grinding raids for hours later just to fix it. So before spending fragments, always ask yourself if it actually improves your long-term progress. If it doesn't, save it. The fifth tip I would recommend is never neglecting codes. Codes give free rewards like double experience, stat resets, and other bonuses that can massively speed up your progression. The problem is that a lot of players either forget about them or don't use them at the right time. The best way to use codes is before a serious grinding session. That way, you get maximum value from every minute of boosted XP. There's literally no downside to using them, and they can save you hours of grinding if used correctly. In fact, I've put all the currently working codes in the pinned comment, so make sure to check that before you start grinding. So those were 5 tips I would recommend for Blox Fruits players. Use a good grinding fruit instead of chasing rarity, don't waste your stat points, don't hoard money without a reason, don't waste fragments early, and always use codes when grinding. These aren't complicated tricks, but they make a huge difference over time. Most players don't fail because they're bad at the game, they fail because they make small inefficient choices over and over. If this helped you, let me know which tip surprised you the most. And don't forget to check the pinned comment for all working codes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.